Santa Ana in El Salvador mixes rugged charm with surprises that sneak up on you. Over 3 full days, we climbed the country's highest volcano, ate local bites at the market, explored the neo-Gothic cathedral, and got to know a place that's turned its rough past into something pretty welcoming. This video shares our top moments, must-see spots, day trips worth taking, and tips to make a short stay here easy and fun. It's not your usual travel spot, and that's what makes it special. We arrived in Santa Ana in the afternoon, and the heat was a real change after Honduras. Coming from Ruinas, a mountain town where they stayed nice and chilly, Santa Ana felt tropical, humid and hot. It sets the tone for a city that's warm in more ways than one. And we were ready to dive in after a long travel day. The city has a gritty feel from the moment you step in. Low-story buildings line the streets. Dogs roam around freely, while a few homeless people sit near the center. It's not a polished place, but that raw look caught our attention right away. The mix of faded walls and lively colors gives it a character you don't see everywhere, and we couldn't wait to explore what was around the next corner. Our base was Casa Verde, one of the top hostels in Santa Ana. It's not the cheapest option around, but you get a lot for your money. A cool pool to beat this heat and free breakfast to start the day right. They offer tours to the Santa Ana volcano, which we'll do later, and it's social without being loud, with a grown-up vibe that keeps things quiet after 10 PM, though Christmas Eve had some extra noise from the guests. It's just a 10-minute walk to the city center, so we headed straight to Simmer Down Café for lunch. This spot stands out with its western style and colorful modern decor. There's no air conditioning, but it stays breezy enough, and the staff speaks English, even giving us tips on things to do in Santa Ana. We ordered seafood pasta and baked cheese pasta, a welcome switch from pupusas after weeks of local food. The portions were big and filling, not the cheapest, but fair for what you get. After lunch, we walked around the center and stopped at a stand selling Salvadoran Sweets. These are their childhood treats, like pastries and candies full of nostalgic flavors. We didn't catch the names, but they were sweet and fun to try, a quick taste of something local. The afternoon heat sent us to Beats Coffee for an iced coffee. It was cold, refreshing, with air conditioning that saved us. Plus, the Wi-Fi worked well too, a nice bonus. It was our first taste of El Salvador coffee, which is really good. That stop gave us a chance to cool down and recharge before heading out again. Next, we visited the Catedral de Nuestra Señora Santa Ana, a neo-Gothic cathedral finished in 1913 and dedicated to Mary's mother. It's different from the Spanish colonial style you see in most Latin American cathedrals, and it was declared a national monument in 1995. Seeing it was awe-inspiring, a highlight that stands tall over the city. Pigeons filled the plaza outside, a ton of them flapping around unlike anything I've seen. It's a tradition here for parents to bring their kids to feed the pigeons and play, making the whole scene lively and fun. We'll be back in 2 days to climb the rooftop on a free walking tour. Our day ended early since Christmas Eve shuts most restaurants by 6 PM. We didn't have plans anyway, just resting up for the volcano hike the next day. So we grabbed some KFC as everywhere else was closed and went back to Casa Verde. Day 2 was our hike up the Santa Ana volcano, El Salvador's highest and most active peak. It's the main reason people visit Santa Ana, and you need a local guide to climb it. You can hire one yourself or join a group at the entrance to the national park where the volcano is located. We signed up for a $20 transfer from Casa Verde, our hostel, which covered the ride there and back, plus a lunch stop at Lake Coatepeque. The trip took about 2 hours each way, and when we arrived, there were stores selling snacks and water past the entrance, plus a washroom if you needed. The entry fee was $3, and the guides cost another $3, so it's not much to get started. Our group was big, around 15 to 20 people, and since it was Christmas, a public holiday, there were lots of other groups hiking at the same time. It felt crowded on the trail, and walking with that many people meant keeping up with the group's pace. The uphill climb got me panting with the heat and humidity. It wasn't too hard though. Kids were hiking alongside us, so it's manageable for most. Almost 2 hours later, we reached the top and the teal-colored crater lake came into view, a moment that really stayed with me. We noticed a sulfur smell as we approached, but it wasn't too strong and faded after a bit. People say it can get chilly or windy up there, but in December, it was warm and clear for us. We didn't need the extra layers. An old man was selling ice cream at the summit, a nice surprise we grabbed to cool off. If you're planning to hike, do wear proper shoes, watch out for unstable rocks on the way down, and bring water. After the hike, our driver took us to Restaurante Las Palmeras on Lake Coatepeque for lunch. The food was decent but felt overpriced and touristy, not the best value after a morning outdoors. The lake itself was a real highlight, full of life and worth seeing if you're nearby. We spent a little time there before heading back to Santa Ana, tired but happy from the day. If you are thinking of doing this hike without a transfer, there's a public bus at 7:30 AM from Santa Ana. Groups start around 10 AM, but the bus back leaves the Volcano area at 1:30 PM, which doesn't give you much time. The next one's at 4 PM, so you'll be waiting a while. For us, the transfer made it simple, and the lake stop was a bonus. We had dinner first at a local street side store, then at China Walk, a spot our tour guide later called her favorite for Chinese food in Santa Ana. After 3 weeks in Central America, we wanted something different, but it was just average to me, nothing special. Later that night, we walked around the city center, where Christmas lights brightened the streets. Music added a festive mood, and it was nice to see the place lit up after dark. Day 3 was our walking tour with Fatima, Santa Ana's only female walking tour guide. We found her online while searching for free walking tours in Santa Ana, and she's great. In her young 20s, she speaks great English, does this full-time, and shares personal stories that bring the city to life. The tour started at 9:30 AM and lasted about 3 hours, taking us to places we would never have found solo. First, we returned to the cathedral. Our first visit was just wandering around, but this time, Fatima explained its history, the patrons who built it, and why it's so important to locals. That gave it new meaning, tying it to the city's heart. She also got us $1 off the rooftop walk fee, which is nice. Up there, it was a perfect way to take in Santa Ana from above. Next, she took us to local shops near the center. Shelves stacked with President Nayib Bukele's souvenirs. With his 91% approval rating, locals love him, and it shows in the fun souvenirs for sale, almost every typical one you can imagine. Then we visited Cafe Cadek, a cozy spot you have to knock to enter, like a little secret spot. They serve homemade cakes and specialty coffee, including a special orange coffee that's worth a try. that, Fatima pointed out some old houses with interesting history and led us through makeshift markets set up since the main market burned out a few years ago. From there, she shared some practical tips for visitors to Santa Ana. For example, Banco Hipotecario offers the best ATM rates with no bank fees, great for cash withdrawals. If you are out late, the supermarket stays open until 10 PM, a handy option for supplies. She also mentioned that bus schedules to nearby cities are easy to find online, useful if you are exploring beyond Santa Ana. Lunch was at Parque Municipal Isidro Menendez, a local market she brought us to. We got sandwiches with stewed beef and tostadas with prawn salad for just $6.25 total, a real steal. They were delicious and savory, a real highlight of the day. This market is also a makeshift setup in the park due to the fire. Fatima told us Comedor y Pupuseria Claudia has the best pupusas in town, but we didn't agree. It felt made for tourists and the pupusas were average, not the best we had in El Salvador. We mostly saw tourists there, which might explain the vibe. We also stopped by the ruins of the old art school, said to be photogenic, but the guard told us no entry. It was a quick peek from outside before moving on. Visiting El Salvador now feels special because you'll never guess it was once the world's most dangerous country. Locals told us how it used to be risky to walk the streets, with gangsters everywhere ready to rob or even murder people. Now you can sit in a cafe without worry or walk alone at night, a change that's hard to believe. Santa Ana didn't seem like much at first, and we started with a sense of uncertainty we couldn't quite pin down. But it grows on you. Locals are friendly and curious, and there's interesting spots if you know where to look. The walking tour with Fatima turned it around for us, and after 3 days, we ended up loving it. From here, we took the chicken bus to Ruta de las Flores. It's easy to Uber to the bus stop and hop on bus 238. Click the video here to see that next.